Speed's a big nut tap guy. That's like the third time he's been caught nut tapping on camera.
Who'd he nut tap?
There was just a video that popped up. I don't know, like
walking to the first tee, just some spectator. He accidentally nut tapped with the putter. So that's probably a good intro right there, guys. In
You're not
5,
supposed to be talking about that.
4, 3, or mud balls. 2.
Tricks, you know what I'm talking about? That lettuce, that lettuce. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That lettuce, that lettuce, focused all on the check. Yeah, all I want is lettuce. Yeah, just give me the lettuce. Yeah, just give me the lettuce.
Let us heads, we are back with a special Masters reaction episode of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. You got Goldie, you got Adam, you got Golfberg, gentlemen.
What
look,
up?
Yeah, I'm gonna need some assistance tonight because I'm already losing my voice. A lot of screaming. Apparently, there was a massive event in the world of golf today. Rory,
And like Adam said, we've never done this reaction pod before. This is brand new territory.
Reaction pod. There's not really a plan. This is all id. So we're going to be taking some risks.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do. Rory effing McIlroy, boys, winning the 2025 Masters, epic fashion. We're gonna go hole by hole, moment by moment, tee up some fun stuff. Guys, hey, before I got something I want to do, but is there something you need to say right before I dominate the next 60 seconds of airways?
Oh man, somehow I'm alive. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight because I can just already tell that I'm like I am spent. I'm exhausted.
I feel like I took every standardized test ever. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Mr. Golfberg, how you doing in the PNW? I see some light behind you there. It's dark over down here in Georgia, just 2 hours away from Augusta. How are we doing in Seattle?
We still got light. This was an all-day event. We're absolutely exhausted. And that was my only hesitation was I can't believe we have to relive this again. I mean, that was the craziest round of golf I've ever witnessed.
And that's a fair point too, not just because like our energy, it's like how can we bring it? How can we be different? But also like, man, you can't match what just happened. Like you everybody, you're listening to this, you obviously watched it live. One of the most epic days of golf, one of the most epic back nines. But guys, before we dive, yeah, one of the front, it was just a great day. But guys, I got something I want to get off my chest. Let me make this about me for a second. It's not about me, but we started Please Let Us Golf, and we started Please Let Us Golf with the idea of like, hey, we're real golf nerds and junkies. And I want to speak for myself, even compared to you guys. I got an addiction, like a real lifelong addiction. Some may roll their eyes and make fun of me, but golf is life. Golf is everything I do. It's a problem, but it's everything I do. It's everything I think about. I could do a podcast. I always say, if you want to talk about the best socks in golf, I'll come and do an hour with anybody. You want to talk about the trends, you want to talk about how to hit a cut, how to hit a draw. I love it all. And like, I feel like I've been living vicariously through Rory for the past 11 years. And then even beyond that with his Masters disaster from 2011 of every close call, right? Like you're talking, recently what happened at the Old Course with him and Cam Smith. He was like the PGA, champion, and there was this chance to stop live, and he blows it on the back nine there. A couple other disasters sprinkled in, but you fast forward to the big one last year versus Bryson at the US Open. And like to see that culminate today and the amount of times it happened again, we're back. It happened again. We're back. That's the worst shot ever hit in a moment. That is the greatest shot ever hit in a moment. And like for me, like literally, I'm not going to sit here just for clicks and get teary-eyed on everybody, but it's hard not to because I was choking up in the living room. Like my own personal golf journey of the amount of failure and the amount of times like you think about quitting and why am I doing this? And like you're seeing him do it on the grandest scale. And I'm talking about doing it on like a micro amateur level.
Yeah, he's so incredibly exposed.
Yes. And to see like you can physically see it throughout the round, and to watch that putt go in and that real emotion of just like the world lifting. And for me, man, I haven't felt anything like that in golf except maybe 2019 Tiger. But for that, it was like the world wanted it, right? Like we wanted to see another Tiger run. We didn't need it. For Rory, like I needed it for my soul, but I think golf needed it because professional golf has been in such a bad space. Like we rail on it all the time, especially the PGA Tour. And like, man, it was just so special. I loved everything it represented. I think like he is the champion we needed. He was the champion we deserved. I'm proud to say, like, I was there tearing up. I think you guys may have been too. But yeah, man, I know the beginning of podcasts are important because people tune out if it's not fun and hyped up, and you're just got the strobe lights flashing. But if you're listening to this, like, like we want you to know, like we're golf purists, we're golf sickos, we love everything about it, and that's why we are doing this reaction pod tonight. I cede the floor to anybody else before we go hole for hole.
I don't know if what happened today was good for golf, to be honest with you.
See, that's why I wanted Adam to talk first.
I'm kidding. Okay. I'm kidding. Joking.
Okay.
Joking. Totally joking.
Okay.
Man. Yeah. No, you said it. Like the last 3 years, it's been very, very tough getting up for golf. With LIV PGA being split up. Outside of the majors, there's not been a whole lot to, root for. And then you look at the Masters since Tiger won in 2019. Really, the last few years of the Masters hasn't been all that great. We've had some good winners. You had Rahm and
you've had great winners, but there's been separation towards the end of the
right.
day.
Hasn't necessarily been a great tournament, but
yeah, great winners. Man. We got to see Scotty Scheffler win with a 4-putt on 18.
Yeah, yeah. I think everybody's souls left their bodies like 5 times a day, and somehow Rory brought us back in. It was an all timer.
Rory brought me to be hatless Goldie tonight. I've never not wore a hat on the pod, and that's
I want to look at you.
I want hatless Goldie. Now. It's like it's funny. My hair actually looks bad, but like for this setting,
no one noticed.
It looks good. It looks solid. It looks solid. It's not fine. Good in person. It's a little MySpace angle, and like it's. Yeah, obviously we got to talk throughout when we go through the Bryson dynamic, the Ludwig's coming, Justin Rose. What an awesome story. Like it was one of those ones where it's like if Bryson won, that's actually super cool. If Ludwig won, he's like the up and comer. Justin Rose wins. It's iconic for this 45-year-old dude to still be grinding and get it. And he's been great form. He almost won the Open Championship last year. But really, if Rory ended up losing in the fashion it looked like he was going to lose, I think it would have been kind of disastrous for the future of golf.
It would have been. And it was really kind of crazy to watch him golf. And you heard like at the interviews the night before, he's talking about how he just needs to be in his cocoon and not really pay attention to what's going on with Bryson and just be in his little world. And I'm like, well, that sounds good for sure. That sounds like a good plan. And he was kind of like, he would get pumped, but he did some pretty incredible shots where he's just staring down the pin and just walking. Like not showing a ton of emotion. But when he won and collapsed, it was like he really did have the weight of the world on his shoulders. Everyone on earth wanted him to win. All the great pros were saying it at every interview. It's your moment. I've never seen an example of a great professional athlete in golf having that much pressure to win one particular tournament in one moment and then fucking come through in the most insane way possible.
And really,
you could write, if you wrote the script, you'd throw it out, fire that writer. Like you're from another planet. That's not even possible for those things to happen in one round of golf. Just nuts.
Yeah, I think, you could talk about Phil's scar tissue, but Phil's was kind of like he got the monkey off his back and had a ton of his success. And during that, he had US Open scar tissue. But Rory's is unprecedented to me. Especially what happened at the US Open last year, man. And to just keep grinding, to be in form and do what he did. So let's go right into the round. So like, we're going to talk about the final round, but how did we get here? Right. Like, so Rory was balling out in round 1, right? He's solid card, bogey free, 4 under through 14. And then that disastrous chip into the water on 15. we don't have to relive it. We know it's inexcusable. New green, it's firm. A couple guys chipped in, but Rory can't do that in that situation. Follows it up with a really bad double on 17, and then you're just like, man, this sucks. This is, Rory 101. And then he comes out Saturday after even par 72, and lights it up, right? Shoots a bogey free 66, correct?
Yep.
And really just super solid round of golf. I would argue, honestly, Thursday's round, he may have, quote, played a little better, but he got everything out of it. Saturday, didn't make the dumb mistake, and putts lipped in instead of lipped out on Friday.
By the way, he came to the 15th hole, clean card, however many under par. That shot barely got on the green, that second shot.
Yeah, it was.
And this will be a theme that comes up because he even mentioned after on his interview, I think it was Saturday night, like he's sort of like on the razor's edge with some of these shots here that he's hitting, where like he's even thinking mid-flight, I fucked up, but then it's kind of working out. And then you see Sunday some of these shots that once they just didn't work out. So
one thing too, I don't want to, because there's two more iconic 15 golf shots we're going to talk about, but just generally for the tournament, I kind of gotta check myself. I've been a hater a little bit on Augusta when they moved 15 back, because that first year, like nobody was going for it, but it was just so soft and into the wind every day. Under normal conditions this week, 15 was a sick par 5. Like it's honestly, it stunted on 13. 13 was kind of like not overly interesting for the week. Until the final shot hit on 13, but 15, the shots hit, the drama, like Patrick Cantlay played 15, 8 over par, guys. And that it's shit like that where it's like, man, there really is a lot of variability coming in that hole now.
For sure. And I think all of a sudden too, with a lot of those trees removed and the camera angle behind the second shot into 15 is one of the most breathtaking shots you can just watch on the course.
Yeah, it's iconic. And with them further back and like hitting full four, it's beyond sick. So we fast forward to Saturday, another 66, a little bit more up and down, but some epic golf shots, which he had the epic shot
order 66.
He had the eagle on 15 that day. Just one of the cooler golf shots you'll ever see. The Tiger overlay, the Jack overlay. It looks just like them hitting that same shot for a critical eagle. And then, he comes in with the lead today.
Did you mention you mentioned the 6 threes in a row?
To start his round Saturday, 6 threes in a row. First guy to ever do that. Absolute. I mean, it's nonsense when you think about it. The front nine at Augusta National is hard as shit. And when you say the first 6, you're talking 4, 5, 6 are extremely difficult golf holes. And to walk away with 3, 3, 3, it's like, okay, number 3, you get it. Number 2 is an eagle. That's sick. Number 1's always a tough hole, but a great birdie to start. And it's like, holy shit, dude. And you knew he was in form. But for him to close out that round, have the lead going into Sunday, he's got his rematch with Bryson, even though he didn't want to make it about that. It's kind of hard not to. And then we get the Sunday Masters, guys, the greatest day of the year. So before we launch into it, any other thoughts? Did we miss anything important context going into the final round?
Well, we had some Saturday night shenanigans. Apparently, we can juxtapose Rory watching movies with his kids, and Bryson was apparently out in the neighborhood getting about an hour of putting practice on some non-regulation putting greens in someone's backyard. I wonder if that screwed him up a little bit. He wasn't at his best today.
I just want to say something I think that was very big Saturday closing out the round when Bryson made that putt on 18 to cut into Rory's lead from 3 to 2. I think that put a lot of, it looks a little bit different, like to Rory. I mean, he just that even though it's going from 3 to 2, it doesn't seem like a lot, but
no, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and they were clearly like the 2 at the top, where everybody was saying, "Hey, it's a 2-man race."
Clearly, nobody could chase them down, right?
But it was kind of like the smoke and mirrors from Bryson Saturday round. He wasn't playing that good, but he was bailing himself out like crazy, and his putting is phenomenal. His sand game is like the best in the world, potentially, until today. It kind of let him down a little bit down the stretch, but his putting's just out of control. Kind of keeps him in it.
But yeah, that's the point though. Like Bryson seemed like Rory kind of seemed like he had his A game, and Bryson seemed like he had like B- game, and he was right there. And that was the scary part of like, man, is Bryson just going to show up and freaking dominate this golf course on Sunday? Can you get away from the pulls with the mid and long irons?
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, spoiler alert. So guys, let's fast forward into Sunday. We're all glued to the chairs for how many ever hours that was, 6 hours. We get to the first tee. We survive the Spieth nut tap of a spectator. Also Spieth going after the mud balls after his round Saturday is pretty sick, but we'll maybe save that for some bonus coverage at the end. But we get to one. Rory on Saturday takes that line directly over the bunker. He had the longest drive of the day on Saturday. I think I saw by like 58 yards or something like that, carrying the bunker. He attempts the same shot, but it doesn't have 2 yards of draw to it. It has like a yard of cut to it. And ends up on that severe downslope bunker, has to punch it out
by 1 yard. I mean, he was
by a
1
yard.
away
Yeah,
from
if he's got a yard of draw, 2 yards of carry, or just blocks it another yard right, he's pretty much fine in the flat of the bunker. But he didn't. So plays a smart shot, doesn't bite off more than he could chew. He lays it up short right. It's not that it's the easiest up and down, but Mr. Golfer, you texted immediately, said, you cannot hit this approach shot past the hole, no matter what. Even if you leave it 25 feet short, you cannot be behind this hole. It is just lightning. You're not going to stop it within 4 or 5 feet. We know what happened. He didn't. So walk us through your mentality when he's got that bogey putt.
Yeah, he's just so good at that particular wedge shot that I was surprised. But he's a little jacked up. I guess the adrenaline that he was missing on the drive,
Had some juices flowing, man. First hole.
All right, so Rory's way too jacked up on this wedge shot. Should have kept it below the hole. Now he's past the hole. And just the cardinal sin of, thinking I've just got to make this putt. Like a bogey be devastating. In my head, I'm thinking make the bogey. You just cannot make double. Throws it past the hole.
Because people bogey one people bogey one literally like all the time. Like it seems like everyone who's won the Masters just bogeys one.
Yeah, you should get your bogey out of the way, but don't do that.
Yeah, the double was inexcusable. So we leave one, and it's a tie ball game, just like that. So Bryson birdies 18 on the bomb the day before, pars 1, and now it's tied. And the texts start flowing already of like, this, we can't do this already, right? So
I actually thought it was like the best thing that could have happened to him, because it's like, okay, it's just, we're tied now, so let's just go play,
And that theory kind of played itself out throughout the day. But we get to 2, and I have this theory on Rory that his advantage at Augusta needs to come on the 2nd hole, the 5th hole, to a degree the 13th hole, because he's a natural drawer of the golf ball with the driver, which is very few people that are, and nobody that hits it as far as him except Bryson. So Bryson steps up, hits a mammo draw around the corner. What does Rory do? He kind of hits the exact same shot shape on one where he wants to start it right with a little draw. He hits a little block cut. Because it's a block cut, it doesn't carry the bunker. He's got to lay up again. And now, Mr. Golfberg, I want you love short game. So I'm sorry I keep putting you on the spot, but he has to lay up to this, like, what, 50, 60 yard wedge. There's slope left to right. The ball's below his feet. What happens on that wedge?
Well, we were all like, we'll take that shot. Let me have that shot. You got the cut slope. You've got,
he's pretty much clear to the bunker left. That's not an issue.
Yeah. And you're just thinking, I want some cut spin on this. It could be a one hopper, because then it'll just take the hill and go. I don't know how you leave it out left like that, but
he literally had to have like pull hook spin on it to keep it up there. What you're saying, Adam?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, I mean, it's the Sunday pin on 2, so you've seen a million balls just land on that green and just feed all the way down to the hole. So you're just thinking like, hey, just land it right there, kind of in that middle spot of the green, and the slope is just going to take it right down to the hole. Didn't seem like a very difficult shot, right?
No, not to get it down, not to get it down there. It may have been one of those ones where it's very delicate, a little bit too far. It's 9, 10 feet past the hole, a little too short. It kind of comes up 8, 10 feet right of the hole.
Maybe
But
it's
it's
just
still,
too close to the green.
I mean, maybe, but man, on an
Sometimes
Augusta,
Rory and I, we just turn our wrists over a little too much in impact, and then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
he
wrong
hit
spot.
like a pull hook spin to that.
Yeah.
So he walks away with a par, and the big golfer Bryson has a really pretty terrible first putt. But he ends up making a lengthy birdie. Bryson is now leading by one. At this point, the text thread was pretty much like, "Yep, like, all right,
Well,
it
that's all.
happened."
A
That's all
par is like
anyone's
a
been
bogey on
talking.
that hole.
Right. It's all anyone's been talking about. Is Rory going to have the lead after 2, and then he doesn't? It's just worst case scenario stuff happening.
It is.
So,
But
but 3 was cool.
Yeah, 3-6. So Bryson laid up, which was interesting. And he ended up saving a par, but it was pretty dramatic to do that. No, Bryson bogeys, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
his layup came to bite him in the ass. Rory drives, hits it, goes down short left. But man, that's a scary ass shot on a Sunday on a Masters, and he hit it. I mean, it's 10 out of 10. It was I think Adam, you mentioned he said that was maybe his shot of the day. I think that's kind of like it's clearly not, but it was an awesome momentum saving, great. I mean, you can't have nerves and hit that shot. You got to hit it perfect. And then he drops in a nasty left to righter. I mean, that thing, it's fast. It's moving 3 feet left to right, sneaks it in. 2-shot swing again. Yep.
I could see where he says that was his shot of the day, just because of what's to come. Because once you get through 3, like, he needed that bounce back, because you're going to 4, you're going to 5, you're going to 6. Those are all 3 very, very difficult holes.
Yeah, that it frees you up, because if you don't, or you mess it up and now you're going to that stretch, you're probably freaking out a little bit. But man, but you get to 4 guys. I think it's the most underrated golf shot I've ever seen. It's not going to get any playback because everyone's going to be talking about 3 and these ones to come. 4 Sunday pin is inaccessible. It's not, because it's a 230-yard shot. So you got to hit, he's hitting a 4-iron, 5-iron. I think they said 4, and he hit it high as shit with maximum cut spin to hold it there. You can't go right of where he was at. You're freaking dead coming back. But he's literally 2 feet left of that. It funnels 30 feet left. I don't feel like I've ever seen a ball stay where his ball was. I think it was literally the most underrated golf shot I've ever seen. And he birdies it, and you're like, holy crap, dude. 3-4. Now the text thread is flipped. We're back to what? Like, we're here. Bryson bogeyed again. Bryson's done. Rory's coming. And then, you get to 5. He has a great par save there. You get to 6, solid par save.
Fine.
Then you get to the moment at 7, guys. Does anyone want to narrate this that isn't me? I mean, Adam, this guy's, I don't even understand the angle. For him to be that, like, he had to get that ball up so high with so much cut spin so quickly. And to have it, I mean, dude, he almost fucking jarred it.
Like, literally, when you look at the replay, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, it was an insane shot to attempt. There was no window there.
They
Like,
kept talking about these windows he's looking at, and I'm like, where are they? It was not just that hole. It happened a few times today.
And again, man, like,
Go ahead,
just
Adam, sorry.
no, like, it just was literally that moment. Like, it's Tiger-esque, the recoil. He got it up, and just like the jubilation, how I've never seen him emote like that after a golf shot, especially Sunday on the Masters. So it's like, it was kind of weird in a way of like, it's like, what did you think was going to happen? What were you trying to do with that golf shot? I mean, I guess the prerequisite is just get it over the tree, and it's okay. I got a chance at a par with that funnel pin, but I don't know, man. It was fucking wild town.
I think
But
we're learning
you
he's at
see-
his best when he's got a tree.
When he's just golfing, not track manning, he seems to be, he's
Yeah.
more of an artist than people I think give credit for. He's closer to Spieth than he is like Ludwig at this point.
What's wild is, and I've made it known, I'm not a huge fan of 7. I think it's pretty bad. I mean, it's maybe the worst hole at Augusta. But you see so many guys when they get out of position on that hole. You've got all these bunkers that are just right there surrounding the green. They slap one up into a bunker and they try to get up and down. That's literally what every single guy tries to do, and that's that's what I thought Rory was gonna do. Like,
yeah,
dude,
just
I
throw it
mean,
in a bunker and flip it up and take the slope and make the putt. Yeah, dude,
he
it
didn't make
was
the putt though.
yeah, he did. It was a terrible. I mean, to leave that putt short almost seems impossible. But
And they
it's
did. The
like,
broadcasters pointed out a couple times that to hit it that high, he tries to swing like as hard as he possibly can, which might
yeah,
not be as obvious. It kind of was like, oh yeah, but
yeah,
that's why he looks so crazy going
Man,
after it.
he
And he has
gets
these
the
follow.
ball up so fast. Like, he had a few shots like that this week where he's over in the trees and you just like there's a massive tree in front of him. It's like, how is he gonna get this thing up quick enough?
yeah. And I mean, I know sometimes there's like optical illusions of how close they are or aren't, but these weren't optical illusions. Like these trees were 15 yards ahead of him, and he's gonna go like I don't even know if I could get a lob wedge over some, these, and he's just launching 8-9 iron directly over him, man. It's really um it was amazing to see, to say the least. So, we fast forward, we get to 8 now. Kind of a buzzkill. He finds that bunker right, has to take his medicine. Him and Bryson both walk away with pars. We get to 9, and this is kind of like, to me, we're going to talk more Ludwig, Justin Rose here coming on when they become relevant in the back 9, but this is kind of what ended Bryson to me. Rory, he was up 3 on Bryson at this point, I believe. And they both hit really nice shots into 9. Rory's maybe a foot behind and left of Bryson. Rory rolls in the birdie. Bryson misses it. And it's just kind of like, all right, man, this is Rory's tournament. Like, you're going to the back 9 with a 4-shot lead at Augusta National. Rose is coming now. He just birdied, I think, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something on a run. But
Well, I was gonna say, like, you could tell once we got through maybe the first 6 holes that Bryson didn't have it. Like,
yeah,
he was not gonna be the guy that was gonna challenge Rory. You just tell. He was missing shots that you gotta have out there. And man, I swear, every single time they showed Ludwig, he had a birdie putt.
yeah,
I swear, like his first 9 holes, he had a birdie putt on every single green.
yeah. It was looking pretty simple for him out there.
You know who else had a shitload of birdie putts? Jason Day. And they just
Yeah,
weren't really going in. Max Homa.
Max Homa, yeah.
They were playing good, but yeah, it wasn't dropping for everyone.
Yeah, it was there's some scores being fired out there. So it was out there. It's just different to do it when you're in chase mode versus trying to close mode. But yeah, Bryson at this point is clearly didn't have it. Other guys are coming, but you're like, man, they're still 4, 6, 7 back. Like it's Rory's. And Adam, look, I'm not trying to Adam was getting pissed, like, oh, it's gonna be a crowning, gonna be a boring back 9.
Well, this is when we got through 10, I started saying that.
Yeah. So yeah, 10. So we'll get there in a sec. But I had another text group for some local guys. Everyone's literally, it's over. And I got the receipts. I said, there's no such thing as over on the back 9 on Sunday at Augusta National. We've learned that lesson way too many times, and especially with Rory, but let alone anybody.
I was just texting that I was grateful I didn't have to be stressed out for the whole back 9. I'm like, this has been stressful enough. Now let's just settle in and just watch this come home. It's going to be fun.
Just get the grill going early for the family, be a better dad of like,
Totally.
oh, Rory did it. Let's all just hug and watch the final green jacket celebration. But ceremony, sorry.
Well, all of that really started once he got through 10 because he hits the rope around the corner on 10, makes the birdie.
The announcers are reminding everyone, if you forgot, if you're not a sicko, 2011, Rory had the lead going to the back 9, little pudgy young Rory, and he hits the snap diesel, ends up taking a huge number and blowing the tournament. But yeah, you're right. He hits this nice little rope around the corner, right? And then he hits this peculiar approach to where he thuds.
He did the Hideki.
Hashtag thuds. He hits it and spins it back. Yeah, hits it to whatever. But that one, that was pretty crazy because what would you say? It was about a 15, 18 footer.
Yeah, it was a good putt.
Yeah, and he just center cup. And then at that point, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
You stole 1 on 10, dog. Like, this is over. Like, Rory conquered all demons.
He was at 14, right? And then was it Ludwig that was the next closest at 9?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at that point, that's when I started sending the like, man, this sucks. The back nine's over. Like, I mean, at that point, like, you just play par golf, man. You just, conservative and just don't do anything stupid.
Well, so fast forward to 11, he hits the proper shot right. I think when you got a lead, most people go right, and it can leave a little tree trouble. You got to manufacture something low, but you're probably running something low right anyways. And man, he hits a runner, guys, and it takes that hop, and it's going towards the water, and it stops. I think the announcer said probably 6 inches short of where it's just gone. And that was the first one where it was you're kind of chuckling like, oh, silly Rory. Why would you even mess with that? And he ends up bogeying it, but you're like, it's 11, right? Like bogeying 11 is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, but I think there's a trend to Rory when he's playing with the lead and kind of protecting it. Because Saturday he hit it like 350 straight and then had like an 8-iron or something, or like a half 9. He puts it right by the pin. Did the same thing on Friday. But when he does that conservative shit, it does not work out, and it comes up again the next par 5. But anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's weird. It's like there's guys that feel like they have to still be aggressive when they have like these big leads. It's like the moment I get conservative is when I start hitting bad shots. And maybe that's a Bob Rotella thing. I don't know.
He needs to remind Rory of that. He forgot to tell him that part.
Well, Tiger always said, like, when you play that, it's conservative targets, but it's aggressive swings. Like you're trying to hit this perfect shot, but you're just aiming at a quote conservative target. I don't know if that translates to Rory. I think conservative just means I'm not releasing the club. Like he does not, his bad shots almost exclusively today, especially, are those block cuts, right? When he can't release it because he does not want to see the hook going left. And as a right-handed golfer, you get it, but it's like, dude, you're Rory fucking McIlroy. And by the way, every great shot he did hit today was a fucking sling and draw. That was sick. Whether it was 3 yards or 50 yards, it was insane.
Well, every great shot he hit today was after a really bad shot.
Yeah. I mean, it was insane levels of resilience.
Go to 12.
So we go to 12. And so he bogeys 11. By the way, Bryson Sayonara, we don't even need to talk to you about him now. He goes into the drink and doubles 11. He's full eject mode. 12, Rory hits the shot. He hits the Tiger Jack shot. Perfect center. Over the bunker, leaves himself that 20-footer for birdie, lags it to a foot, taps it in, and you're like, well, the disaster is done. I literally had everyone texting me of this is great. 13 and 15 now. He doesn't even have to remotely take any kind of risk on. and so he gets to 13.
Risk is an odd thing.
Risk is.
So what did he do? He hit 3-wood off the tee this time instead of
on
driver?
13?
Yeah.
13, yeah. He hits 3-wood off the tee, and he hits this pretty tight little draw. Of course, he could physically go for it. He lays up, but guys, I don't want to just say he laid up and you say it's conservative. He laid it up in the. Okay, we got a light falling here. Hold on, the Rory golf gods are getting me. He didn't just lay up, he laid up in the perfect spot, all the way left. So you don't even have to Race Creek is not even in play unless unless you're a 50 handicapper and chunk at 10 yards. Like Race Creek is not there. He's got 20 his target's 20 yards left of the pin. And let alone if he hits another pull hook from 60 yards, it's still just fringe. It's the single worst golf shot in a moment I've ever seen. People will talk about Spieth's blow up. At least that's a hard shot. There was nothing about this golf shot that is remotely difficult. If he hit that shot 20,000 times, he would not hit it where he hit it. It was a toe shank, guys. It was literally a wedge toe shank.
If he doesn't go on a win, I feel pretty confident that that's the worst golf shot in history.
Fuck Van de Vel, he just made a dumb decision. Spieth, it's devastating, but at least it's difficult. There was nothing difficult about this. This is as easy as it comes to. When I say easy, it might have been hard to hit it to 5 feet, but to avoid a penalty.
What's
was
weird
the-
is
oh,
don't you want to be left of that pin, like to work the slope?
You don't want to just be
or-
left. You want to be. It's literally almost 20 yards left is what your target is. It's almost like the same shot he had on two. Where
what I was
just,
saying, it's the opposite miss. That's what I was
Yes.
thinking. So
yeah, if
that
he
was in
hit
his
that
head.
shot on two, he might have eagled it. It's like, oh, I just did
Yeah.
a little toe shake in there. So when that happened, and at this point, so he's dropping, he's hitting, so now he's got whatever a 7-8 footer for par or for bogey. It was at this point though that like Ludwig and Rose were coming. They were both getting a 9 and 10 under, and that was and Rory. He misses the putt. Tough putt. Everyone thinks it moves a little left. It doesn't. You see it. It looks like it's moving left on the snake cam and just goes a hair right. Bogeys it, man. So he's walking off 13. Like
No, he
you could just
doubled
see it, dude. I honestly, I was physically sick myself. Like
He
you're
doubled
just,
it, right?
yeah.
double.
He walks away with a double. And after bogeying 11, it's like, holy crap, dude. Now we're back to like, oh my God, it's happening again. You go to 14. It's very uncomfortable. He hit a fanny, probably worst tee shot of the day, right? He's got to hit a miracle shot, which was sick. He had the full Tiger kind of like down in Mexico, crazy left to right spinner action, Arnie on steroids. But he couldn't get it there, and it spins off the front. Hits a good pitch, but difficult putt. He leaves himself that 5-6 footer that has 2 feet of break, and it just I don't even know how it physically stayed there, guys. Like it stayed like a 20th of a ball on the
He
lip.
starts missing putts though. 11, 14, 15, 16, 18.
Yeah.
Like he starts, and I mean, he made a bunch of good ones too. 10. I mean, there's a bunch, but like
that's his
starting to add
bugaboo.
up.
That 5 to 8 footer, man. Once he misses 1 or 2, it seems like he's just missing all of them. So we leave 14 without the lead.
Rose birdied 15
Yeah,
and
they're tied.
16, right?
Yeah. Rose birdies. Yep. And Rose is tied at that. No, well, Rose tied him at 15, and then they're going so Rory's coming to 15, Rose is going to 16. Rose birdies 16 and goes up 1 at that point. So then we get to 15. Rory hits a good drive, but it's left. And Golfberg, you were talking about these new camera angles. You really get a good perspective of why you need to be right there. Because even though little live burp there, sorry guys. No edit on that one. And he's blocked. And the way I'm looking at it is like, all I'm thinking is like, holy crap, this reminds me of every guy who's like clipped a pine on 15 and hit it into the water accidentally. Like I remember what's his name? Molinari, even though it was a closer shot, but like he when he blew it versus Tiger, but he's coming back, has a chance on 15, and you see his angle, and you're like, I just watched 3 other guys, like Scotty trying to hit that shot, Ludwig, I think to a degree, trying to hit that shot, and you just have to curve it too much. So you're going to like blast it into the bunker, and you're like, Rory has to birdie this hole. So I'm almost thinking like, should he not be going for it? Like, should he be trying to get a good number wedge in his hand, even though he's hit a couple suspicious wedges, and try to get to that back flag? And then he hits what I think, I know it's recency bias, I think it's the greatest golf shot in a moment I've ever seen in my life. I go through the great ones I've seen. You just blew it. You have a history of everything that we've talked about, the weight on your shoulders, and you're hitting a hook 7-iron, 200 yards that you have to barely miss the pine to have a chance to start it far enough right with enough hook, with enough carry to get it to the front right of the green to then release up to this pin. It's beyond big dick energy. It's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. My kid saw another level of me. I'm screaming. The F word's going crazy. It's the 5.5-year-old, the 2.5-year-old. We don't care. Wife didn't even care. Normally she's getting on to me about language. We don't care. I was on another level of euphoria. Never seen it. Even the All the fucking moments you've seen into 15, they weren't from where he was at.
And what you're saying, a lot of pros tried to hit that shot. We saw Justin Rose try to do it. You saw Aberg try to do it. Aubert.
Scotty Scheffler.
None of them committed to the draw. They all bailed out and it went into the sand. And Rory just fucking committed. And what was awesome about him having to sling that shot and kind of hit a slightly lower flight, I think, is he got to the benefit of a little more rollout when it hit the green. So it's just tracking and tracking. It was just absolutely one of the coolest looking shots ever. He's just at his best when he has a challenge. He's a total artist for sure. It's awesome.
Adam, walk us through your feelings.
And by the way, when that putt went in, or wait,
no, he missed. No,
he missed the eagle.
I know.
Yes. When that putt didn't go in, it was pretty depressing.
Yeah, once he got kind of stuck over there on the left, I mean, I just assumed he was going to lay up, just kind of the situation it was. And I mean, typically, anytime somebody gets that far left, the majority of the time they lay up, or like you guys said, they'll blow it way out to the right into the bunker. And then Dottie was like, "Yeah, he's got a 7-iron. It's like 205," and I'm like, "Hold on, this guy really about to go for it?" Like, it's like, all right, this is it. This is it. Like, this is either gonna be make or break, and like this could be. I mean, what's wild is like after what happened on 13, I started thinking like if Rory loses this dude's never coming back from this. I like legit don't think he could like.
I know this sounds ridiculous, but like, do you even play again? I mean, like, do you like why? Like, do you even have the desire? Like, why? Can you not hear us, Aaron? God damn.
Hello.
Hey. I'll pause. Yeah, it's like I'm being serious. Like, do you even? I know it sounds crazy, but like, do you even want? Like, how do you even golf again after this? If you truly blow it, but what was that?
How do you ever watch Rory again and take him seriously ever again? I don't think I'd have been able to.
No, I mean it was
torture.
It would be impossible. I mean, it really would, especially as a mega fan. It's like, but I also as a golfer, I just know how impossibly difficult it is. But it's like you have to do it. But I'll say that last thing on my comment on 15, I don't think any other golfer ever could have hit that golf shot. Yeah, I would say ever in the modern era. No golfer in the modern era of the last 20 years could hit the shot he did on 15. Well, or probably 7, but especially 15.
What's frustrating watching him play is like it's like this course was made for him when he's playing his best. He could have lapped the field 2 or 3 times. Like he has these self-inflicted double bogeys out of nowhere. But
dude, he had 4. Yeah, he had 4 double bogeys. Nobody in the history, only one person in the history of the Masters have won with 3 double bogeys. My man's did it with 4 double bogeys.
He's either eagling or double bogeying a hole. And it's for dumb reasons too. It's not because he's trying this shot that you can only accomplish 1 out of 5 times. Sometimes it goes in the water. No, he's got that is his superpower, which on 13, you don't lay up. You actually just keep pressing. Get another 4-iron in your head. You'd rather get in the water in 2 than 3, not to backtrack. But
yeah,
I just think he is at his best when he is just fucking balls to the wall, just going for it.
I just wonder if maybe TGL prepared him for this moment, just kind of hitting some of these weird shots in the,
who knows? I mean,
Screen Golf League,
we haven't even talked about the Boston Commons, the bump they're about to get from this, the green jacket coming home. But
hey, so do you guys agree with him going for it on 15? Do you think that was like the right call? I mean, obviously it was, but in the moment, were you like, what are you doing?
No,
he has to go for it.
I'm going to be honest and say, like, I saw I just watched the best players in the world try that shot, and I'm thinking like, if you're going to hit this green, you're going to have to bring the pine tree in play. And I was like, but you can't bring the pine tree in play because you're going to hit this so hard and you're going to barely clip the pine. You're going to go in the water. But that's why he's Rory fucking McIlroy, and I just alternate shooting 68 and 78. So that's the difference right there, amongst some other things. So we get to 16. So now, but unfortunately, he misses, to Mr. Golfrick's point, a 5.5 footer for eagle, a very soft attempt, doesn't sniff the hole. That's another issue. We're not just missing these putts. We're not touching the hole. Yeah, low side all the way. So he misses that. We're tied going into 16, right? And we're tied going into 16. Rose has a an up and down chance on 17, and Rory hits a golf shot. He hits one of these flighted irons that we've been talking about, saws off. I don't know if he hit a 7 or 8. I think it was probably an 8 for the back right flag, the way he sawed it. Flies it right over the stick. So you're like, that he just needed that cocaine hit of 15. He's got an 8-footer, but the only thing is, like, I've never really seen that putt. They rarely
No one
use that
has. We've never,
flag. Yeah,
we've never seen that pin.
yeah, and most people are either below it or left in the fringe, like where Ludwig was, and I even where Bryson hit it was awesome, but I haven't seen that either. But he misses the putt, but it wasn't bad. It was on the high side, but it was just another Rory putt where it just stops like 2 inches right of the hole with dead pace, and it's like, fuck. I feel like he needed that putt.
Yeah, it's getting old at that point.
They had the 1975 pin on 16. You know, I mean, he didn't get the funnel pin.
Yeah, if anyone listened to the preview pod, Adam hates the funnel pin on 16, so he was absolutely just foaming at the mouth when the pin sheets came out, and we had the back right.
I like that pin today. I think that's a proper pin, man. That's like you have to hit a golf shot there, and if if you execute it, you're rewarded.
You do, but also like it yielded very, very, very few birdies, and it's like I love the drama on the closing stretch. But you got to 17. Also, that's a unique pin for 17 on Sunday, right? Normally they have that right flag, and they had it right. Yeah, that was, and so when you get to it, so Rory par 16 at this time, Rose has about a 4-footer.
He hit a phenomenal pitch shot on 17.
Unbelievable. Our guy Rosie on his at this point, by the way, he has 9 fucking birdies on a Sunday and a Masters to be tied for the lead, or and he goes and or actually be one up at this point, and he misses the putt on 17. And he fans it a little, misses it on the low side, taps in the bogey.
Well, it's a hard hole. You said it's unbirdieable.
Yeah, it seemed unbirdieable, even though Patrick holes out. He just jars it for eagle. But literally everybody, I don't know what the scoring averages were for the week or for the day. 17, everybody was bogeying, man. Like nobody could hit it. If you were to where the pin was, you had to be right. So everyone that went right blocked it in the trees right. If you hit fairway left, you're totally boned from accessing the pin, and everyone was missing it short right like Rose. And it was just a brutal golf hole. And Rory gets up there and he hits the fairway in the perfect spot. He hits the 3-wood, kind of hits the floater cut on the right sliver of the fairway. And it was like your only line at the pin. And if you thought 15 was dramatic enough, guys, this shot he hits into 17. It's the moment. It's the moment of moments. He's got an 8-iron, 182, and you're literally hitting it to like a 4x4 spot. You're just short, you're off the green. You're 2 yards right, you're 30 yards right. You're long, you're dead. So he had to step on the 8-iron and know he had to get every inch of that 8-iron and land it in that spot, because you couldn't saw a 7, because you could not, if you're long there, like bogey's almost guaranteed.
So at this moment, had Rose birdied 18 yet?
Rose not before 70. No. So Rose is now in the fairway at 18, hitting his approach into 18, and they're tied up, right? So and then Rory just hits this towering draw. He's talking to it, walking after, and we know he hits it. It releases to 3 feet. So it got inside the friend zone. The law of the gimme would say, like, maybe this is even good. But as he's coming up to the green, Rose hits it on 18 to maybe, what would you guys call it? 25 feet, 20 feet.
Yeah, it was 20, 25 footer.
And what does our guy Rosie do for the 10th birdie of the day? I mean, not just makes it, guys. Center cup with authority. it's like I'm pulling for Rory, but also you're just so happy for Justin Rose, man. You're like, if Rory doesn't win it, like this guy just won the Masters. You know, he just came out and brought Augusta, and he's doing it with 170 ball speed, dude. Like he's literally playing a different game. It's not a joke. Like he's pounding drives, and he's 30, 40 yards behind, you know, Rory and even Scotty. And it's just
But when they're at their best, which we'll see a hole later, you see the difference in that distance and
oh yeah,
the difference it makes. You know what I mean?
that's where it comes in. So, but he
Yeah.
rolls it in. He's tied with Rory. Just epic stuff on the 18th hole. But then Rory comes 17. He hits the shot we just talked about. He goes to 12 under. So Rory's now going to 18 with a 1-shot lead, and he pulls out driver. And you know, most of the guys trying to close out 18 in history have pulled out less than driver. So, Mr. Golfberg, Adam, any thoughts when you saw that driver coming out of the bag?
Once
It's the
again,
best
that's
club in
just-
his bag.
Yeah, go for it. Just like for sure.
Wasn't hitting it particularly great that day. Yeah, but what's he do?
But the hole calls for a little bit of a cut, and I don't think he uses that 3-wood to hit a whole lot of cuts. I think that's more of a
Well, he hits a floaty cut with it like he did on 17, but you don't really want to float that one on 18. You want to get it down there. You didn't want to leave himself 170 in. But he hits that drive, little butter cut. He's got 125 in, gap wedge. Just hits the
No
I don't
trees.
I don't think he hit that. The thing is, I really
shades
don't.
of 13.
The problem is he probably missed his target by a few years. No, it's 13, guys.
no.
13. No. 13 was the
Dude.
worst golf shot ever. I
It was.
guarantee you he was aiming because he didn't want anything to do with the front bunker. So all the data would tell you aim 15 yards right of it. And he just fanned it a couple yards too far and catches that bunker, man.
125 though.
I know. It's just you would think he's just aiming at the stick, and you're just worst case because you don't want to juice it and be like on the top shelf for a 3-putt. But
Here's the thing: it's such an easy shot, and it's really, really bad what he did. But he gives himself a decent lie in the bunker. A bunker shot, we've seen him hole just a few years ago. It runs out to the hole.
He doesn't even have to flirt with that front bunker. I mean, like
I think that shot. Again, maybe
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just
past
being.
that.
Maybe I'm being like a little bit too much of a Rory apologist, but
that's fair.
It's in the moment from that angle looking up, it's a little bit more of a daunting shot than you think. I know he's got 125 in, so he hasn't got 165 in. He played a conservative line and hit a bad shot like he did all day when he had a conservative line. It wasn't egregiously bad, but it was not good. But he hits a really good bunker shot. He leaves himself another 4.5 footer. Guys,
It was a touchy bunker shot, though. He wasn't swinging free again because I don't know.
You didn't want to launch it past the hole. I get that, but they put up the animation or the graphic that says for the career grand slam, and man, it's just like every fiber of my being knew he wasn't going to make that putt, and he didn't even touch the hole, guys. And to see the pain again of like, what do I have? Like he's like literally in his head, you could tell he's praying. Like, what do I have to do? Just give this to me. DeMarco 04 this thing for me. You know, somebody hit it right behind my coin and give me the exact right. Someone come putt it for Phil. You come
Steve
putt it
Williams
in
13 me. Someone give me a good readout here. Come on.
That's another wild thing. Like Rory plays golf by himself. His caddy is just not a part of the equation, dude. He's just showing that. So it's kind of sick. But he misses it, guys. We're going to a playoff at 11 under. Rory, Justin Rose coming out of nowhere with 10 freaking birdies on a Sunday, including a birdie on the 18th. And we're going to a playoff. So, guys, anybody want to know, like, what's your thoughts going into the playoff?
My thought is if this plays out like it's supposed to play out, Justin Rose doesn't stand a chance, respectfully. But it's awesome that he's there. But it's just another big name who got super close and flew a little too close to the sun. And what was supposed to happen did happen, because like we were talking about, Justin Rose is an insanely good golfer. He's an awesome pro, but he hits it about as far as he can hit it and hit a really good drive, and Rory just smokes it again. And he's like, what, 30 yards past him?
Yeah.
So Justin Rose has an 8-iron into the green and hits really good. It almost actually dunked it.
Yeah.
But coming in at that trajectory, when you're going uphill like that, it doesn't have enough room to just stop on a dime. So it rolls out a bit, and he's got a 15-footer. Rory from 125 can hit a high wedge and just a beautiful draw that's just going to stop right. Well, he gets to play it differently, where he plays it more up on the ridge. That's the difference. I mean, them at their best, doing what they do best, Rory should kick his ass every time, and that's what comes to pass.
Adam's chomping to get in. I have a counter to Adam's last take, but Adam, you go.
No, I mean, obviously the way of the world is on Rory, right? But I wouldn't say like there's not a lot of pressure on Rose either. I mean, you think back to, what was it, 2017? Rose has been in this position before when he had to go to a playoff against Sergio. I believe that was 2017, and he lost that one. So it's like, here we are again. You got another shot, and it's, I mean, for Rose, he's what, 41, like 42. So
what is
43?
43?
Gosh, he's good, man. Look, hey, he was one of my underrated guys on our underrated overrated pod. He's so good, man. But yeah, he's got to be thinking like, this is probably more than likely my last chance. This is it. Rory, you know, I don't know, maybe it was it for Rory too, but
you know, it's like, that's why I hate. It's like, I'm glad it was Justin Rose in there because of the stuff Mr. Golfberg said about, you know, Rory really did have a distinct advantage, but also I just hate it. Like, you know, it's like, to get that close, to fly that close to the sun, as you said, it is heartbreaking, but also it's like, it's so sick to even be, I mean, you're at the twilight. He knows what he's dealing with. And then Rory, at least Rory did it on a 10 out of 10 shot. And I will say this, Rory, he had comments. They asked him about, maybe he's making himself excuses. He's like, hey, I was much further left on that first shot. So my angle was much more directly over that bunker with the ball below my feet. It was a lot harder to turn over that right to left and use the back slope like I would like to. Whereas in the playoff, it was much further right, much flatter. It was easier for me to do it. Maybe that's a little bit of pro golf speak. Just, you know, maybe that's Bob Rotella speak telling you did the right thing. But it was different though. It was significantly further right, and that does make it a lot easier of a shot. So, but Rose, man, he hits, but like you said, Mr. Golfer, he hit it almost jars. It releases to what, 10 feet, 12 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
We've seen that putt made before, and you know, puts a run at it, doesn't make it. And Rory's got 3 feet to win it, maybe. I was terrified, right? I was like, certainly he's like almost inside the leather, but like after every putt he's just missed, he's got to be thinking, like, just fucking go in the hole. Like, this
when he first hit it, the Nance was saying it's 2 feet. So I'm like, yes. And we're texting each other like 2 feet, no problem. Right. But then they corrected as he's like getting ready to play. Actually, this looks like it could be a 3 to 3.5 footer. He's like, no.
The law of the gimme would tell you that's exponential. So that starts becoming
the
a problem.
danger zone. And by the way, man, I mean, it's not like it rimmed in, but that went in left center. As left to left center as you could possibly be. That was not a center putt, but fuck.
So it goes in. He hits the ground. What was the quote? Oh dang! I should have had it teed up, but it was
Nance quote.
Yeah,
to the sod.
It was the sacred sod.
It collapses into the sacred
collapses
sod.
into the sacred sod. And man, what a moment! Like, just
did we say this? I've never seen anything like it. A celebration. Have you a celebration that emotional?
No,
never.
Because you could just tell, man, it's golf. On one hand, you go, Bob Rotella, it's just golf, but it's his whole being, it's his whole life, and to deal with what he's dealt with and come back, man, it's like literally, like Tiger's was physical. That's completely different. Rory's was mental, and to see this, like, just absolute, you're in the depths and the ascension now, dude. He's got a green jacket. We get to see him play in the Masters when he's 60 years old. He's now free to, God only knows what this means. Yeah, I mean, he's only 35, guys. Next 5 years, he could win 3, 4, 6 majors. And that kind of leads me into a question. If you have closing comments, please do it. Of like, what does this do to Rory now in the all-time pantheon of golfers? I think a lot of people were hesitant of saying he couldn't be a top 10er, right? He didn't have the career Grand Slam, all this. So, but where are we at now?
Can I just back up and say, when he holed the putt and he like fell to his knees, and I mean, like that was an all-time golf moment. Like I do remember back 2019 when Tiger won, like feeling like different feelings, about, I mean, it was like a very emotional moment, right? I think this was even like more so than that moment with Tiger, just because like Rory, like you kind of know like what he's going through. Like he wears like a little bit like on his sleeve, and man, just it's been what, 11 years since he's won a major, and needing the Masters to close out the Grand Slam. And I know you said it earlier, but it's weird. It would be really weird to think of Rory's career like without a green jacket, like him not being there, like in that room, champions dinner. Like you consider him to be like one of the all-time greats, especially in the modern era, right? Like it's him and Tiger. And for him not to be part of that club would be just, I don't know, very depressing for golf.
That's the craziest stat. I mean, you hear it. It's like that the only modern golfer to have the career Grand Slam is Tiger, and the other three guys, it's Jack, but there's these black and white photos. Like this shit just doesn't happen. It was like 1966, 2000 with Tiger, and now 20. I mean, this is legendary stuff. So you're asking about his reputation and what it means. He is in a very, very, very distinct category with only a few golfers, in my opinion. And since, the 90s, call it with Tiger Woods, it's been Tiger, Phil, and Rory. And I think that's it. There is no one else in that conversation or in that pantheon now. It's not just the majors. It's not just the wins. It's when you're at your highest level, can anyone even come close to touching what you're capable of? And can you do it decade after decade after? I mean, that's what it takes.
Dude,
like Scotty's incredible, but you just started. Like, do this for 20 years. I mean,
that's what's crazy, dude. You
said
so like when they flash up those like top 10 players in the world by like 5-year increments, and you just look at Rory and you see the turnover. There's nobody that stays in it. And Rory's been in it basically like 2010, 2015, 2020, 2025. He's been the first, second, or third best player in the world the entire time. And it is frustrating. I understand the criticism though of, okay, the major drought since 2014, the volume of hiccups, but now you get to the point, it's 5 majors. So now you start talking 6, you're at Phil, you're at Faldo. 7, you're at Palmer, right? If he gets to 7, you start talking about a top 5 golfer of all time, in my opinion, in the modern era with the pressures and stresses of today. I know we're woulda, coulda, shoulda, or like what ifs, but it's like, dude, man, if this literally is freeing to the point where, like we said, we know how difficult this was today, but he could have boat raced the field like by 10. Like it was that level of golf. Even if it's just 2 doubles instead of 4, it's like not even a golf tournament, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to get too over my skis, but he's definitely cemented to me right around that 10 spot. But now he's got the runway to become a top 5 golfer of all time.
Yeah, I might pump the brakes a little bit on the, can he get to 6? Can he get to 7 and beyond that? I mean, it did take him, over a decade to win 1 major, and the fashion that he won this one wasn't exactly a resounding victory.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, he gets in this position again. Does he? There's still scar tissue there. I mean, it's not like he got completely rid of it.
Maybe. But also I'd say like he probably will still have some close call fuck ups. I just think it's like the Phil thing of, but it just relieves such a pressure of like, okay, if I do, I won the Grand Slam. I got a green.
No, for sure.
As incredibly popular as he is and successful and wealthy and good family guy, like there's been a cloud over his head for a while. And the pressure just builds and builds, and he's playing too good for it not to just keep building. This has got to be the most incredible, like, cosmic relief for him. Yeah,
And,
there's no telling. I think for sure. I think 7, 8. These
and call
it's
me a
legit in
Rory,
play.
and call
Majors.
me a
Hmm.
Rory stan here, but this is my last thing. The reason
8.
why I've like over the years have started to ride for Rory as hard as I have, because it wasn't
Say
always
that
that
again.
way.
Ride for Rory
as hard as I have. It's it's what you said of like all these really good golfers that have great 2-3 year runs that get put on the pedestal while he's been on the pedestal for 2.5 decades or two decade and a half, I should say. Scotty's on that run now, and Scotty looks generational. That maybe we look in 7-8 years and go, Scotty was a decade generational player, but it's like until you do it, it ain't it. Like Rahm, it ain't it. Brooks, Brooks has the majors at least, but it's like, guys, you got to be better at golf longer than a 3-5 year increment before we're talking about all-time greatness. And Rory's been that guy for 15 years, man. And it's like he can mail it in at any time. He's got as much money to take care of his family for 20 generations. He's got enough scar tissue to just say, like, hey, man, I'm a 4-time major champion. At the time, it's like, I'm good. But he didn't. He grinded, he worked, he put himself through it. And it's just to me, like, that's what I ride for. Like I love greatness. And to me, he has earned greatness. It wasn't just like prodigy Rory that, skyrocketed for those first few majors. It's like he's been on the grind. And now it's like he's playing so good the last couple years. You knew it was going to happen. And I'm just so glad it was the freaking, I can't believe Rory won the fucking Masters.
Did you know that it was going to happen?
I thought he would win a major. I honestly did not think he would win the Masters. I thought he would certainly win a major. I just didn't.
The Masters is the easiest one to win.
It's the course is too easy for him. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's just.
I do think he's going to win another Masters now.
That's touche there.
I do think that.
Let's go next year and witness it.
I do find it interesting that Rory's got all the shots, right? A lot of these modern golfers, they come from hashtag screen golf.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have all the shots. And you just think back to the shot on 7, the shot on 15. There's just multiple shots where he's hitting these hook draws or these cuts, and just not. I mean, not all the golfers have them.
And on the Venn diagram, man, you got the willingness and capability, and they have to meet perfectly. And he's pretty much the only guy that has that right now, right? Like maybe Scotty, but I don't know if Scotty's just a master playing the conservative. Scotty probably wouldn't be in all the positions Rory was for the day. Dude, but
Scotty's deadly.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this is so. And it's funny. Like, what's the next major venue coming up? Quail Hollow. So any good Rory vibes at Quail Hollow?
It could be a crazy run because he's got
Oakmont.
He's got the Northern Ireland one.
Yeah. Is it Lytham?
Portrush?
No. Portrush, right?
Portrush.
Portrush is this year.
So
that would be a run. What a run.
I mean, is the Grand Slam on the table? I hate that talk, but it's definitely majors that's at least Quail Hollow and Portrush. You got two real legitimate. I like him
at Oakmont.
Oakmont's going to be tough, but it's going to be tough for everybody. Can't wait. All right, guys. Anything else to round out our I think this was good, man. It was dense, but like, hey, if you're listening to Masters Reaction Pod,
you think
you want the deets, right?
You think pale blue becomes the new Sunday power color for Rory?
Yeah, it's funny because it's like pale blue. It's kind of emo in a way, and now maybe not though. But now it's free. It's just
free. Exactly, it is. It's lightweight.
You could pull it off. Yeah, it's the light. It's just makes you feel like you could do anything. But yeah, man, this is Adam. Any closing thoughts?
I was just trying to think where does this rank as far as Masters Masters Sundays of the last 20 years. This
You know,
I can't think of anything better. I mean, it had it just the drama of like the ups and downs and
well, you said the
just
last 20 years. So, I mean, like that, I was going to say, like, everyone you got 86 and you got like the Norman collab, 91, you got Tiger in 97. But in terms of Masters Sundays, the only thing that is even remotely in the ballpark is Tiger 2019. But again, it's just for completely different reasons. I mean, maybe we have recency bias. I've watched that 2019 Tiger Sunday round 50 times, and every time I watch it, I just smile cheek to cheek.
But that one was weird too because it was like the round got moved up to the morning.
Yeah, they're playing threesomes.
Yeah, it was a kind of a weird Sunday.
Yeah,
but
this is one of those rounds where you're not going to want to jump right back in and watch it again. It was it was like season 5 of Breaking Bad. Like, I don't need to rewatch. That was way too heavy.
Yeah,
Awesome ending, but like, I'm good for a while.
I was loving it. Look, I've never been the like biggest Rory fan ever. But I wanted Rory to win today. Like he belongs like with like a green jacket, but I didn't want it to be easy. And he did not disappoint there. Did not disappoint there. But yeah, I mean, as far as like how it ended, you couldn't have asked for a better ending. And just man, it was awesome.
Yeah, awesome, dude. All right, Golfberg, anything else?
He could have let Rose off the hook and made that putt on 18. That was kind of mean to Justin Rose. Now that I'm thinking about it, you just had to torture him with that and pimp him out with the drive, the wedge. It's like, but hey,
it's all good. But well, lettuce heads, if you made it to this part of the pod, thank you. You're a true sicko. We got a lot of fun stuff planned the next few months. We got some of our own golf trips, some marquee places we're going to be highlighting. We got some awesome high-level guests coming on. We can't wait about that. We might have a little secret, might have a partnership we're going to start talking about publicly. And also, we get it. You want the lettuce hat. Everybody wants some of this merch. It's coming. We got our P's, Q's, T's, I's, legalese. Give us a couple more weeks. We're going to have something rolled out there, and we can't wait. Thanks for checking out the Masters Pod. We hope it was as exciting for you as it was for us. Most importantly, as we always say, stay plugged. Peace.
Spieth in 2026. Book it.